We all know there's a major hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico right now, but I want to talk about one other thing before we get to that. There is another system here in the main development region here, just off the coast of Africa, has about a 70% chance of development over the next couple of days. And so this system, it's far too early to know if this is going to take a similar track to Ian or if it's going to take a similar track to other storms, or Hermine, and the others that have kind of been out in the Atlantic here. Time will tell if we're going to see that kind of Hermine and Gaston and those storms were all out here, never really made it to the United States. So time will tell if this storm will even serve any kind of threat to the U.S. So let's talk about Ian. You can see this. I wanted to show a large kind of scale here just to show how massive this storm is across this area. You can see that all the way up to Tallahassee now, they're getting some of these outer bands here. And just north of Cuba here, the storm just moved into the Gulf of Mexico and is headed towards Florida. Let's take a closer look at the eye of the storm. This is one of the weather satellites that can really get a closer look. And you can see all of this very strong convection around the eye here, very well-defined eye, and it has plenty of Gulf to go. You can see just above my head here is Key West. They're already seeing quite a few very large waves in that area as the energy from this storm continues to move northward. And we'll take another view here at radar, and you can see the strong convection here that's wrapping around the eye. And obviously, southern Florida, there is a tornado warning there, looks like to the northwest of Miami there. And so already they're getting some of those outer bands. But you can see how strong the eye wall is here that's going to move northward, and this will track towards the Tampa area. Really, Northport looks like is going to be the main kind of focus of this. Cape Coral, rather, is there. So as the storm continues to move in, we're looking at this storm becoming a Category 4 before it makes landfall, likely as a Category 3 tomorrow night sometime, around 8 o'clock Eastern time, I think is when that's going to move on land. And of course, it's expected to weaken as it goes over land, but does look to move a little bit more west and to the due north. So that rain is going to be impacting southern Florida for quite some time. I mean, they're already getting plenty of rain. So for the next 24, 36 hours, 48 hours and longer, we're just going to be seeing torrential rain across South Florida. And as this thing makes its way north, they'll just continue to get this energy. So the flooding may be the primary issue for those areas that don't get those hurricane force winds and that storm surge and those kind of things right there on the coast. As you're inland, don't discount the flooding risk with this storm as well. That's going to be a pretty major concern with this storm. And I just kind of want to remind you, we're still in the kind of the peak area of hurricane season here. It's not over. I know it seemed like we had a really late, kind of quiet start, but there is still plenty of hurricane season to go. So I'll be watching that storm out in the main development region there off the coast of Africa there, and I will continue, of course, to keep an eye on Ian. Again, doesn't look like it's going to impact our area much. If nothing else, we'll be on that northern flow on that west side. So, could bring temperatures down a little bit. Looks like we will see a little bit of a drop in temperatures, probably somewhat due to that, but not much impact in North Texas. But I'll keep an eye on that new storm that does look to be ready to develop over the next couple of days.